Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, it's Duke.
And this is Sea-Dog.
Welcome back to another episode of Drive-In Review.
Oh, yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about Alfred Hitchcock films.
Yes.
We have 6 lined up for you today.
Yeah, 6 good ones.
Yeah. I mean, they're all good.
Right. So, I finally watched The Substance.
Yeah.
You've been begging me to watch it, so I did. It was all right. I gave it, what did I give it? 7.5?
I don't know.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Or 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, something like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's definitely strange, but worth the watch.
Yeah. Yep. It has a lot of great throwback moments to older 80s horror films.
Yeah, one being Psycho.
Yep.
So
that's correct.
We're going to be discussing that today.
Yep.
So what about you? Any movies? Any new ones?
I watched Companion for the 3rd time.
For the 3rd time? See, that's next on my list.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yep. I don't know. I didn't really think about what I've watched.
I was going to check out the new Chris Pratt movie, The Electric State. It just got released on Netflix, I believe.
Okay.
And but instead I watched The Substance. So
good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably the better option.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Electric State kind of looks, I don't know, more like that's the Ring.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, Tinkerbell just flew by. That's what that
was.
The
Ring?
Yeah, the Ring.
7 days?
Yeah, 7 days. But yeah, it kind of gave me that Guardian of the Galaxy vibe, what the Electric State did.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, let's talk about Psycho.
Okay.
Here we have a quiet little motel, when in fact it has now become known as the scene of the crime.
You have a vacancy?
Oh, we have 12 vacancies.
You know, this is the first place that looks like it's hiding from the world.
I think that we're all in our private traps, clamped in them. And none of us can ever get out.
Is anyone at home?
Oh, that must be my mother.
Is anything wrong?
Am I acting as if there's something wrong?
She's not missing so much as she's run away.
Put me down. Mother! Oh, God! Mother!
What are you running away from?
She looked like a wrong one to you?
It's not as if she were a maniac. She just goes a little mad sometimes.
Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
All right, so in Psycho, a secretary on the run for embezzlement takes refuge at a secluded California motel owned by a repressed man and his overbearing mother. Psycho was released September 8th, 1960 by Shamley Productions. It was released by Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
And it stars Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, and Vera Miles. It was made on a budget of $807,000, and it grossed $32.2 million. And I'm pretty sure that is from re-releases and whatnot.
Right.
IMDb rated this an 8.5 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 4.3 out of 5, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 97% with a 95% audience approval rating.
Nice.
I give it easily 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? I gave it 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good. It was probably one of my favorite ones by him.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
if you've not seen this on the big screen, I recommend that too.
yeah. Didn't they make a remake?
Yes.
I thought they did. I didn't look it up or anything to see
when it was directed by Gus Van Sant in 98, I believe it came out with Vince Vaughn.
That's right. Vince
and
Vaughn.
Hesh.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Still like the original.
Yes. Yeah. So this was shot on location in Phoenix as well as on the Universal Studio backlot between November of 1959 and January of 1960. It was directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock, and it was based on the novel by Robert Bloch.
Okay.
The screenplay was done by Joseph Stefano, who also did some work on The Outer Limits, and he also wrote The Kindred creature feature from the 80s, 87, I think, is when it came out. And the score, finally, was done by Bernard Herrmann, who did a lot of Hitchcock's scores.
Yes.
But he's also done It's Alive from 1974, Taxi Driver.
Okay.
He did some work on The Twilight Zone. The Day the Earth Stood Still. He did the original score for that movie.
Nice.
As well as Citizen Kane.
All right. I actually got some information about him.
Go for it.
All right. So Hitchcock was so pleased with the score written by Bernard Herrmann that he doubled the composer's salary to $34,501.
Nice.
Hitchcock later said 33% of the effect of Psycho was due to the music. And, back then, music was a big thing for those older movies and stuff. It made it more dramatic and more suspenseful.
Yeah.
And everything. And that's kind of Hitchcock's directing is through the music and stuff.
Sure.
So, but ironically, he was originally adamant that there should be no music in the shower scene, but he was persuaded by his wife to give it a try. The screeching violins and dire strings, which would inspire the music for Jaws, actually, from 1975, ended up selling the scene and driving theatrical audiences beyond anything they had ever experienced.
Yeah, probably freaked them out.
Yeah. When the cast and crew began work on the first day, they had to raise their right hands and swear an oath not to divulge one word of the story. Alfred Hitchcock also withheld the ending part of the script for his cast until he needed to shoot it. And a lot of people, you can see that nowadays. There's a lot of leaks on the internet and stuff like that. So directors are starting to hold back some of the scripts and stuff just to keep that from getting leaked.
Right.
And everything. So
a lot of the stuff you're talking about too was depicted in the movie Hitchcock with Anthony Hopkins, because it's about Hitchcock and while he's making Psycho.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Which, and if you haven't seen it, I do recommend that one too. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I have seen it though. It's just been a while. We'll see here, and then Alfred Hitchcock bought the rights to the novel anonymously from Robert Bloch for only $9,000. Of course, only, but back then that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
He then bought up as many copies of the novel as he could in order to keep the ending a secret. So again, trying to hide the ending, keep it from being leaked. Of course, if anybody read the novel, they would know how the ending goes. That's why he bought as many copies as he could.
And I don't think the novel was that old at that time. It was only a year or two old, I think.
Yeah.
Without looking up what year it came out, I think it came out like a year prior to the movie. I could be completely wrong and bullshitting you, but
right.
But it wasn't very old at that time.
Yeah. After this movie's release, Hitchcock received an angry letter from the father of the girl who refused to have a bath after seeing Diabolic from 1955, and now refused to shower after seeing this movie.
Yeah, thanks.
Hitchcock sent a note back simply saying, "Send her to the dry cleaners."
Nice.
When Norman first realizes there has been a murder, he shouts, "Mother, oh God, God, blood, blood." Hitchcock had the bass frequencies removed from Anthony Perkins' voice to make him sound more like a frightened teenager.
Yeah.
So, and then last I got is Hitchcock wanted to make this movie so much that he deferred his standard $250,000 salary in lieu of 60% of the movie's gross. Paramount Pictures saw this and, believing that the movie was going to be do poorly at the box office, they agreed to it. It did not. His personal earnings from the movie exceeded $15 million, which in today's standards with inflation, that would have been $156 million.
Yeah.
He would have made off that movie.
Yep.
So good for him for choosing that. He knew he had a winner.
So he made $15 million?
He made $15 million.
Okay, so the movie did gross $32.2 million at that when it came out.
So he took $15 million of that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Whew. That's insane. But yeah, that's all I got on Psycho.
Okay, well, let's talk about movie news.
Yeah.
Movie news. Okay, what do you got?
So Tom Hardy has a new film coming out called Havoc. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's going to be released on Netflix, and you can see it exclusively beginning April 25th.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the movie. I just seen he's coming out with the movie called Havoc. So waiting for the trailer. Scream 7 news. More Scream 7 news.
Okay.
Just added yet another franchise character return. First, we got Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard returning. Now we have David Arquette coming back.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, David Arquette announced that Dewey will be returning for Scream 7.
Dewey.
Don't know in what form, but hopefully that's not a ghost form or anything like that, like we had with Skeet Ulrich.
Right.
That would be weird. But I'm curious to see how he survived.
Yeah.
So yeah. Or he could be Ghostface.
Yeah.
He did have a crush on Sydney.
I'm still waiting on Sydney to show up as Ghostface.
Right.
After all this shit she's been through, she just snaps.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be Scream 9.
God. Releasing in 2030.
Right. There's a new Resident Evil reboot being made and directed by Zach Krager, which is the director of Barbarian.
Oh, okay.
And he says the film will be more horror-focused and more faithful to the initial games.
Oh, okay.
It has a theater release date of September 18th, 2026.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm excited for that one.
Thought you were going to say Zack Snyder for a second.
No. Gosh, Zack Snyder. I can't talk today.
Who do you have over here?
I know, right? And then lastly, I want to talk about Shrek 5.
Okay.
Okay. Zendaya has been casted as Shrek's daughter in the upcoming 5th installment of the Shrek franchise. Have you seen the trailer?
No, but I heard it's different animation.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, what is DreamWorks thinking about? We need an ugly Sonic repeat. Like, people need to talk. People need to stand up and be like, no, you're not releasing this movie until you fix the animation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like they did with Sonic the Hedgehog. Because, I mean, we can wait a year for Shrek 5 for them to reanimate it.
Yeah.
Because it's sad. It's very sad. Wide-eyed, and I mean, it's weird.
Okay.
It's so weird. But yeah, that's all I got for movie news.
Movie news!
All right.
Shut up.
All right, our next movie is going to be Rear Window.
This is the scene of the crime. A crime of passion, filmed in a way you have never seen before, and as no one else would dare attempt. But the screen's master of suspense, the producer-director who shocked the world with Psycho. This is the apartment of a man named Jeffries, a news photographer whose beat used to be the world. Right now, his world has shrunk down to the size of this window. He's been watching the people across the way. Nobody seems to pull their blinds during a hot spell like this. He knows a lot about them by now. Too much, perhaps. For instance, down there on the second floor, the woman pacing about. He calls her Miss Lonely Hearts, so lonely that even death seems like a friend. These are the newlyweds, on a honeymoon no one will ever forget. He calls her Miss Hearing Aid, an artist of a very odd and strange art. The songwriter who plays the same melody over and over again. A genius or insane? This is the traveling salesman and his invalid wife. Out of their arguments and nagging comes a weird kind of love. Miss Torso, the body beautiful. That is, viewed from a safe distance.
Those are just a few of my neighbors. First, I watched them just to kill time, but then I couldn't take my eyes off them, just as you won't be able to.
And you won't be able to take your eyes off the glowing beauty of Grace Kelly, who shares the heart and curiosity of James Stewart in this story of a romance shadowed by the terror of a horrifying secret.
All right, so Rear Window is about a bored photographer recovering from a broken leg, passes the time by watching his neighbors and begins to suspect one of them of murder. Rear Window was released September 1st, 1954 by Paramount. It was shot on 35 millimeter Technicolor, and I'm going to take a moment to explain the whole Technicolor
please do.
deal. So back in the black and white era, they would make colored films, and if they had the budget, because it was very expensive to do. Mm-hmm. Well, by the 1950s, what they do was they take 4 rolls of film, and they'd shoot on them simultaneously, and each one was filtered with a different color. So one of them was just your straight black and white film roll, and then another one would be filtered with red, third one would be filtered with green, and the last one would be filtered with blue. And once everything was shot, they would run it through this, I think it was called imbibation, this process where they basically smash your 4 negatives together, and then they dye them, and it would become your Technicolor, and that's how they would develop the film at the Technicolor studio. And that's why you get the vivid colors and everything. And I guess sometimes some of these films would, the ink or whatever, the dye would wear off, and they'd have to somehow try to preserve it. And I know that's happened a few times with older movies. But yeah, that's your quick run through of how Technicolor works.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I wonder if that's the same concept as the early big screen TVs back in like the 70s and 80s, where it would have basically just a projector.
Yeah.
It was a projected screen, and it would have like the red, the green, and
we used to have one of those.
Yeah,
back in the 80s.
My cousin had one, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the same concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so they stopped Technicolor sometime around the 70s, mid-late 70s.
Okay.
So back to the movie. Rear Window stars my favorite actor of all time, Jimmy Stewart, as well as Grace Kelly and Raymond Burr. It was made on a budget of $1 million. Do you think it flopped?
No.
It did not. It made $37.9 million.
Wow.
Yeah, it grossed the most out of all of our movies today.
Nice.
IMDb rated this the same as Psycho, 8.5 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it 4.4 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 98% with a 95% audience approval rating. It's quite similar to Psycho, and I'd give it the same, 10 out of 10.
I give it the same too, 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to give it 10 out of 10 because I want to leave that room for growth, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, 9 out of 10.
It's a wonderful film.
Yes.
I really, really like this one. If I had to pick between Psycho and Rear Window, I'd go Rear Window.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it was very, it's all about voyeurism. I mean, he's just a peeping Tom because he has nothing else to do.
For sure.
And stuff. So
it's got a lot of good suspense and a lot of good mystery. So, yes, I definitely recommend this film if you've not seen it.
Yes.
Run right out to the theater.
Right.
This was shot on location in L.A. as well as Universal Studios between November of 1953 and January of 1954. This was directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock again. It was based on a story by Cornell Woolrich, and the screenplay was done by John Michael Hayes, who also wrote other stuff that Hitchcock directed, such as To Catch a Thief, Trouble with Harry, and The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Okay.
Excuse me, geez. The score for this movie was done by Franz Waxman, who also did the score for several other movies, notable movies, such as The Spirit of St. Louis with Jimmy Stewart.
Okay.
Mr. Roberts with Jack Lemmon and Henry Fonda.
Yep.
Place in the Sun. Sunset Boulevard. Sorry, Wrong Number. Dark Passage with Bogart. Philadelphia Story with Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant. And Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, awesome.
So
that's a coincidence, and you'll know why.
Okay. Well, I wanted to also add the cinematographer for this movie was Robert Burks, and he did a lot of the cinematography for a lot of the Hitchcock films as well. So you'll hear his name again, Robert Burks.
Okay.
The cinematographer.
Awesome.
What you got?
So the film negative was damaged. You were talking about, they were trying to preserve films and stuff. The film negative was actually damaged considerably as a result of color dye fading as early as the 1960s. Nearly all of the yellow image dyes were faded, despite fears that the film had been irrevocably damaged. Preservation experts were able to restore the film nearly to its original coloration.
Yeah, those are my boys right there.
So, which that was a coincidence you were just talking about, how it could be damaged, and that was one of my first fun facts.
Yep.
According to Georgine Darcy, the man and woman on the fire escape struggling to get out of the rain was based on a prank by Sir Alfred. See, there I go.
Sir Alfred Hitchcock?
Hitchcock, yes. Okay. Each actor and actress in the apartment complex facing Jeff's rear window wore an earpiece through which they could receive Hitchcock's directions. Hitchcock told the man to pull the mattress in one direction and told the woman to pull in the opposite direction. Unaware that they had received conflicting directions, the couple began to fight and struggle to get the mattress inside once the crew began filming. The resulting mayhem, in which one of the one of the couple is tossed inside the window with the mattress, providing humor and a sense of authenticity, which Hitchcock liked. He was so pleased with the result that he did not order another take. He left it in there.
Yeah, right.
By most accounts, everyone was crazy about Grace Kelly. I mean, who wouldn't?
Sure.
According to James Stewart, everybody just sat around and waited for her to come in the morning, so we could just look at her. I mean, she was the kind
bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, she was kind to everyone. So considerate, just great, and so beautiful. Stewart also praised her instinctive acting ability and her complete understanding of the way motion picture acting is carried out.
Okay.
So, Sir Alfred Hitchcock,
you did it,
gave Georgine Darcy free range to choreograph her own dance moves for her character, Miss Torso. Darcy was to dance on her own volition.
On her own volition.
On her own volition during filming. Hitchcock's only restriction was that he forbade her to take professional dance lessons, as he wanted her to maintain the impression.
Wanted to maintain her authenticity of being...
Yeah, impressions of an amateur dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you for getting that
Yeah.
out. I was like, nah. The entire movie was shot on one set, which required months of planning and construction. The apartment courtyard set measured... the
courtyard set measured.
Thank you. The apartment courtyard set measured 98 feet wide, 185 feet long, and 40 feet high, and consisted of 31 apartments, 12 of which were completely furnished. The courtyard was set 20 to 30 feet below stage level. And some of the buildings were the equivalent of 5 or 6 stories high. This movie was shot quickly on the heels of Dial M for Murder, and that came out from November 27th, 1953 to January 13th, 1954. James Stewart has stated that of the four movies he made with Alfred Hitchcock, this one was his personal favorite.
Can you name the 4 movies?
No, I cannot.
It would be Rear Window, Rope,
okay,
from 1948, Vertigo,
yes,
and The Man Who Knew Too Much,
okay,
which is actually a remake of his own movie, of Hitchcock's own movie.
See, now.
Yeah, Hitchcock. But yeah, the original Man Who Knew Too Much was a 30s movie,
right,
directed by him, and he remade his own movie like 20 years later.
Okay,
with Jimmy Stewart.
Nice.
And also with Cary Grant. Cary Grant has also done 4 movies with Hitchcock.
Awesome.
But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Right. But yeah, that's all I got on Rear Window.
Okay. Well, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
Happy birthday, bitch! And guess what? Every asshole has a birthday, and these are these assholes' birthdays.
Let's hear them.
On March 15th, we've got David Cronenberg is 82. Director Rennie Harlan is 66.
Okay.
And Jai Courtney is 39. Today, on the 16th, we have Alan Tudyk, who is 54.
All right.
The beautiful Lauren Graham is 58. The beautiful Eric Estrada is 76.
How old is his hair? No.
Damn it. And Jerry Lewis would have been 99.
Wow.
On St. Patty's Day, we've got Kurt Russell will be 74.
All right.
Rob Lowe will be 61. and Gary Sinise will be 70. Also, Casey Siemaszko will be 64.
Okay.
On the 18th, we have Brad Dourif, who's going to be 75, and Queen Latifah will be 55.
All right.
On the 19th, we have Bruce Willis, who will be 70 and is not doing well. Glenn Close will be 78. On the 20th, we have Spike Lee, who will be 68.
Nice.
Carl Reiner would have been 103, and Jerry Reed would have been 88.
Wow.
And finally, on the 21st, Gary Oldman will be 67.
All right.
Rosie O'Donnell will be 63. And director Russ Meyer would have been 103. Happy birthday, motherfuckers! This movie is called Strangers on a Train.
I beg your pardon. Aren't you Guy Haines? My name is Bruno Anthony. Want to hear one of my ideas for a perfect murder? Two fellows meet accidentally. No connection between them at all. Never saw each other before. Each one has somebody that he'd like to get rid of. So, they swap murders. Crisscross. I may be old-fashioned, but I thought murder was against the law. You think my theory's okay, Guy? You like it?
Sure. Now, everything didn't go smoothly. She doesn't want the divorce.
But you sound so savage, Guy.
Sure, I sound savage. I feel savage. I'd like to break her neck. Now, who did you say this is?
Bruno, Guy. Bruno Anthony. Don't you remember on the train? Is your name Miriam?
Right here.
Are you trying to tell me?
Oh, you maniac! But Guy, you want it.
There seems to be no way of diplomatically breaking tragic news. It concerns your wife. She's been murdered. Miriam murdered?
She was strangled.
You're just as much in it as I am. We planned it on the train. Crisscross.
How did you get him to do it?
He's a maniac. I met him on the train going to Metcalf. And now the lunatic wants me to kill his father. Bruno, I've decided to do what you want.
Still think it'd be wonderful to have a man love you so much he'd kill for you.
Well, then am I correct, Mr. Haynes, in assuming that you have no intention of going ahead with our arrangement?
None whatsoever.
I don't like to be double-crossed. I have a murder on my conscience. But it's not my murder, Mr. Haynes. It's yours. I'm not going to shoot you, Mr. Haynes. I'll think of something better than that. Much better.
You gotta keep on your toes. Something funny's going on.
Guy Haynes is taking chances I've never seen him take.
Next time, look out, I'm gonna need your help for chasing a man.
Hey!
All right, so a psychopath tries to forcibly persuade a tennis star to agree to his theory that two strangers can get away with murder by submitting to his plan to kill the other's most hated person. Strangers on a Train inspired several movies.
I'll say it sounds familiar.
Like one of my favorite films of all time, Throw Mama from the Train.
Right.
Strangers on a Train, though, was released June 30th, 1951 by Warner Brothers. Shot in black and white. It stars Farley Granger and Robert Walker. It was made on a budget of $1.2 million, and it grossed $52,000.
Wow, all right.
IMDb rated this a 7.9 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 4.1 out of 5, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 98% with a 92% audience approval rating. I gave it 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it 7 out of 10. Yeah.
It's a good movie. I think the first time I saw it, I didn't really care for it that much. It kind of grew on me.
Yeah. It kind of falls flat a little bit.
Yeah, and this is the oldest movie on our list today as well.
Mm-hmm.
This was shot on location in New York and D.C. and Los Angeles between October and December of 1950. That was directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock, and it was based on the novel by Patricia Highsmith. But the screenplay was written by Raymond Chandler. And if you don't know the name Raymond Chandler, he created the character Philip Marlowe in the old Private Eye movies.
Right.
He also wrote Double Indemnity and The Big Sleep with Bogart. So he wrote, as well as many other film noir movies back in the 40s. It was also written by Zinzi Ormond.
Okay.
The score for this movie was done by Dmitri Tiomkin. He did the score for High Noon, Giant with James Dean, Rio Bravo, Gunfight at the OK Corral, DOA, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and It's a Wonderful Life.
Nice.
And again, cinematography done by Robert Burks. What you got, Sea-Dog?
So Alfred Hitchcock inserted the letter L into the word strangers in some of the posters that were showed. So it came out looking like stranglers on a train.
Yeah.
Just for, I don't know, shits and giggles, I guess.
Probably.
And then in the scene where Ruth Roman and Patricia Hitchcock are watching the tennis match, Ruth gives Patricia a real U.S. $10 bill. Showing real U.S. money in movies then was illegal without permission from the U.S. Treasury Department.
Really?
Yeah. The Treasury Department later removed the prohibition for Psycho in 1960 and later movies. So.
Okay. I did not know that. That is new. Then is wanky stuff.
Right. The stunt where the man crawled under the carousel and was not done with trick photography. Hitchcock claimed that this was the most dangerous stunt ever performed under his direction, and he would never allow it to be done again.
Okay.
So, as was his usual practice, Hitchcock shot each scene so that there was only one way to edit it, which always conformed to his initial visual concept and pre-production storyboards.
Okay, yeah.
Warner Brothers wanted their own stars, already under contract, cast wherever possible. In the casting of Ann Morton, Jack L. Warner got what he wanted when he assigned Ruth Roman to the project. Over Hitchcock's objections, Hitchcock found her bristling and lacking in sex appeal, and said that she had been foisted upon him. So,
okay.
Hitchcock's cameo was directed by his daughter, Patricia.
Cool.
So, and then last but not least,
I wonder if he was the first director to show up in his own movies.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Just a thought that came to me.
Right. He could be. In an interview, Farley Granger revealed that this movie and They Live by Night from 1948 were his favorite movies. Granger also revealed that he loved working with Robert Walker and was very upset when he heard about Walker's sudden death, which happened 8 months after filming.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Granger was also in Rope with Jimmy Stewart, directed by Hitchcock.
Yeah, I remember that. But that's it. And that's all I got.
Okay, well, what's next?
Next is going to be...
Test me, bitch.
All right, so let's start off with your last week's answers.
Yeah, quote.
Yeah.
Movie quote.
The movie quote. What was it again?
I don't know. Play it.
Jack, Barry's friends are here. Come say hi. The boys are here.
Oh, hey, fellas.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, let me get up and I'll give you guys the full tour.
Oh, honey, careful. Your boner.
What do you want me to do? Cut it off? I tell you what, fellas. We'll start the tour by me showing you where you're going to sleep. I'm going to show you what we call the guest room. Come on, follow me, boys. The guest room.
Okay. So what movie was that?
It was Road Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about that one.
Okay.
So, and then the chronological orders, I had 2 of them right.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave off the answers, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you did.
Yeah, it was 83, 85, 89, 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got 2 of them right off the bat, and then the other ones I was a little off on.
It's all right.
It's okay. So my movie trivia for you this week. I've got 3 challenging ones for you.
Okay.
We're going to start with Who Am I? I like doing these.
All right.
The play on words.
Yeah.
All right. So
You get to be all poetic and shit.
Right. The man that can't speak. I am a man of many characters, but I only have one voice. I once starred in a television show where everybody knows my name. Who am I? Do you know my name? Because everybody does.
He was in Cheers. Okay. Woody Harrelson?
No.
Was it Ted Danson?
No.
George Wendt.
Added a little fart there too. No, sir. You give up?
I don't know.
All right. Yes. You'll find out next week.
Okay.
I'll see and give other people a chance. My next one is going to be a new one we're playing. It's a new category. It's going to be called Movie Meets Movie.
Okay.
So I'm going to pitch you a line in this made-up movie, and you have to tell me which movie is meeting with what movie.
Okay.
All right. So, like, if I were to give you, for example, I said, what did I say? What was the example? Oh,
what was it?
The hills are alive on the yellow brick road. Then you would have said,
The Hills Have Eyes and The Wiz.
No. Sound of Music and
right.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I got you.
So here's your movie meets movie. Yeah, no, definitely don't want to play a game. Definitely no.
Don't want to play a game. Okay, so Rain Man
Mm-hmm.
and Jumanji.
No. No.
Don't want to play a game.
You got Rain Man right.
Saw.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Rain Man meets Saw.
Okay.
All right. And last but not least, you wanted me to challenge you on some dates.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that
today.
I'm going to name off 5 films.
Just random
films.
Okay.
Random years.
Did you look these up to make sure that you have the years?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. So I'm going to tell you what movies they are, and you have to tell me what year they were released.
Okay.
All right. Your first one is Harry and the Hendersons.
87.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, bitch, you're lying.
Now, this is one I was telling you. This is a coincidence. Your next movie is Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Bride of Frankenstein?
Bride of Frankenstein.
1930. Oh, 5. Nice.
Got it right. All right. 2 for 2. Next one is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That was 75.
Good grief. I thought I was going to make it challenging for you. All right. Maybe this one will hit you.
2 more? All right, here we go. 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. McClintock.
Oh, my God.
I knew I'd throw a curveball in there somewhere.
Is that John Wayne?
That's John Wayne.
McClintock. Was that... McClintock. 70... I really have no idea. 75.
No, sir. That was 1963.
Okay, 60s movie.
And your last movie is Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Yep.
Was 1992.
All right.
Okay.
I thought I'd stump you on the.
You got me.
I got you on McClintock.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a John Wayne fan.
Yeah. All right.
Even having my name, I'm not a John Wayne fan.
I thought I was going to make it challenging for you because you're like, challenge me, bitch. I was like, okay. So I went all over the place.
Yeah, McClintock.
Yeah.
The hell.
I had to throw that one in there. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, that's our movie trivia.
That's all?
All right. What's our next film?
We're going to talk about The Birds.
Someone there? Who is it?
Look. Mitch, this isn't usual, is it?
We've been out back looking at the chickens. Something seems to be wrong with them.
There's nothing wrong with those chickens, Mitch.
That's the damnedest thing I ever saw. I don't know. It seemed to swoop down at you deliberately.
Birds are not aggressive creatures, miss. They bring beauty into the world. It is mankind, rather, who insists upon making it difficult for life to exist upon this planet.
I mean, birds just don't go around attacking people without no reason. You know what I mean?
I think we're in real trouble.
Huh?
I don't know how this started or why, but I know it's here and we'd be crazy to ignore it.
To ignore what? The bird war?
Yes, the bird war, the bird attack plague. Call it what you like. They're massing out there someplace and they'll be back. You can count on it.
I keep telling you, this isn't a few birds. These are gulls, crows, swifts.
I have never known birds of different species to flock together. The very concept is unimaginable. Why, if that happened, we wouldn't have a chance.
Get yourselves guns and wipe them off the face of the earth.
It's the end of the world. Thus saith the Lord God unto the mountains, the hills, and the rivers and the valleys. Behold, I, even I, shall bring a sword upon you, and I will devastate your high places.
Doesn't it seem odd that they'd wait all that time to start a war against humanity? What do you think they were after?
I think they were after the children.
For what purpose?
To kill them.
So was this the Quentin Tarantino trailer?
Right.
Ding, ding, ding. So The Birds is about a wealthy San Francisco socialite who pursues a potential boyfriend to a small Northern California town that slowly takes a turn for the bizarre when birds of all kinds suddenly begin to attack people. It was released on, March 29th, 1963 by Universal Pictures. It was shot on 35 millimeter Technicolor. It stars Tippi Hedren, Rod Taylor, a young Jessica Tandy, Suzanne Plachette, and Veronica Cartwright. It was made on a budget of $2.5 million, and it only made $54K.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah. IMDb rated this a 7.6 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.8 out of 5, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94% with an 83% audience approval rating. I gave it 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. I really like this one.
It is a good one. And it was done very well. The special effects were done very well for its time.
Yes.
This was shot on location in Bodega Bay. And I was there probably around this time 33 years ago. I went on a school vacation thing for a week when I lived in California.
Bodega?
We went bodegas.
Now say it with me. Bodegas.
Shot in Bodega Bay between March and July of 1962. This was directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock, and it was based on the story by Daphne du Maurier.
Okay.
And screenplay was done by Evan Hunter, who was a novelist who also wrote Blackboard Jungle. I don't know. Have you ever seen Blackboard Jungle?
Yeah. I've
with
heard of
Sidney
it.
Poitier.
Yeah. I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
It's a good movie. And the score, again, was done by Bernard Herrmann. The special effects for this movie, I have some special effects news, was done by Marcel Delgado, and he did the bird. He was the creator for the bird props.
Okay.
But he's also worked on the original 1933 King Kong, The Wizard of Oz, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, the original 1953 War of the Worlds, as well as the 1964 Mary Poppins.
Nice.
What you got, Sea-Dog?
So when audiences left the UK premiere at the Odeon Leicester Square, did I say that right? I don't know. Anyways, when they left the premiere in London, they were greeted by the sound of screeching and flapping birds from loudspeakers hidden in the trees to scare them further.
Nice.
Hitchcock revealed on the Dick Cavett Show in 1968 that 3,200 birds were trained for the movie.
Nice.
He said the ravens were the cleverest and the seagulls were the most vicious. So
yeah, that makes sense. I've heard ravens are very smart.
Yeah. Hitchcock saw Tippi Hedren and in a 1961 commercial aired during the Today in 1952, the Today Show, and put her under contract. In the commercial for a diet drink, she is seen walking down a street and a man whistles at her slim, attractive figure, and she turns her head and with an acknowledging smile. In the opening scene of this movie, the same thing happens as she walks toward the bird shop. This was an inside joke by Hitchcock. So,
okay.
Yeah. Several endings were being considered. One that was considered was would have shown the Golden Gate Bridge completely covered by birds. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Rod Taylor claims that the seagulls were fed a mixture of wheat and whiskey. They had drunk seagulls. It was the only way to get them to stand around so much.
Okay.
Tippi Hedren donated her script from this movie to the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History.
Nice.
In August of 2008.
Okay.
So that's all I got for the birds.
Cool.
So
let's do our 7 steps.
All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we get? We got Walton Goggins to
Gene Wilder.
All right. Do you want to hear mine first, or
yeah,
you want to hear?
You go right ahead.
Okay. So this is how I connected it.
Okay.
Walton Goggins to Jamie Foxx in Django.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler in Law Abiding Citizen.
Okay.
Gerard Butler and Jim Sturgis in Geostorm.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one.
Jim Sturgis and Kevin Spacey in 21.
Okay.
And then Kevin Spacey and Gene Wilder in See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Okay, you took the back way.
I did. I kind of detoured a little
because
bit.
we've got the same movies.
Okay.
All right, I got Walton Goggins and Sam Jackson in Django.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sam Jackson and Kevin Spacey in The Negotiator.
Of course.
And Kevin Spacey and Gene Wilder in
See No Evil, Hear No
There
Evil.
you go.
Jesus. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't think of Sam Jackson. Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you got me again.
Yeah.
And you said you ain't good at this.
I did this one all by myself.
That's good. Good job.
All right, let's spin that wheel. What do we got for next week?
Start that old Model T.
Okay. What is it? It's, you know how to read that?
No.
Oh, yeah. It says, oh my God.
Should we spin it again?
Ooh, no. It's Leslie Nielsen to Michael Shannon.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
That's interesting.
That is going to be fun.
So if you guys can match those two peeps.
Yeah.
Do it before next week.
Right. I think he was in Naked Gun. No.
Yeah.
All right. There's 7 steps.
Cool. 1. No. More. Okay. Let's talk about Dial M for murder.
Oh no.
Do you really believe in the perfect murder?
Yes, absolutely. On paper, that is. But I doubt if I could carry it out.
Oh? Why not?
Well, because in stories, things usually turn out the way the author wants them to, and in real life, they don't.
You're trying to blackmail me into murdering your wife.
A few minutes' work, that's all it is. 1,000 pounds in cash. Goodbye, dear.
Hello? 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 Hello?
What's
Hello.
your favorite scary movie?
Yeah. All right, so Dial M for Murder is about a man who has blackmailed another man to murder his wife, and it does not pan out as he intended.
Right.
This was released May 29th, 1954 by Warner Brothers. It was shot on 35 millimeter Warner Vision and released in 3D.
Yes.
This stars Ray Milland, Grace Kelly, Robert Cummings, and John Williams. It was made on a budget of $1.4 million, and it only grossed $45K. IMDb rated this an 8.2 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 4.1 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 90% with a 92% audience approval rating. I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Has a lot of dialogue, a lot of exposition, but I think if you can get past that, then it's an enjoyable film.
Right.
And definitely a Hitchcock classic. This was shot on location at the Warner Brothers studio in Burbank between July and September of 1953. It was directed and produced by Alfred Hitchcock once more, and written by Frederick Knott, who also wrote, I don't know if you've seen Wait Until Dark. It's a 1967 film with Audrey Hepburn and Alan Arkin.
Okay.
It's a pretty good movie. It's very Hitchcock-esque.
All right.
So I do recommend that one, Wait Until Dark. The score for this movie was done by Dmitri Tiomkin, and again, cinematographer Robert Burks.
All right.
What you got, Sea-Dog?
So Hitchcock wanted Cary Grant to star in this movie, but Warner Brothers felt that he would be miscast as a villain in this.
I don't know. He was already well established.
Right. John Williams won the 1953 Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Play for Dial M for Murder. As Inspector Hubbard, he recreated the role in this movie.
John Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked his character in this movie.
Yeah. Hitchcock had chosen a very expensive robe for Grace Kelly to wear when she answered the phone. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Kelly balked and said that no woman would put on such a robe just to answer the ringing phone. While she was asleep alone, she would answer it in her nightgown. Hitchcock agreed to do it her way and liked the way the rushes turned out. And he allowed Kelly to make all custom decisions for herself in this sequence movies, subsequent movies together.
Okay.
After that. So basically he earned her trust.
Yeah.
So
and she was also in Rear Window same year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hitchcock made a special effort to shoot scenes indoors, almost exclusively. Only a few brief shots, usually involving Chief Inspector Hubbard, take place outside.
Mm-hmm.
Hitchcock believed the decision to shoot most scenes indoors would create a sense of claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers insisted on shooting the movie in 3D. It was their idea.
Okay.
Although the craze was fading, as Hitchcock was sure the movie would be released flat. Hitchcock wanted the first shot to be that of a close-up of a finger dialing the letter M on a rotary dial telephone.
Yeah.
But the 3D camera would not be able to focus such a close-up correctly. Hitchcock ordered a giant finger made from wood with a proportionally large dial built in order to achieve the effect.
Okay.
So, and then this was filmed in just 36 days, from Wednesday, August 5th, 1953, to Friday, September 25th, 1953.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Cool.
So,
all right. Well, we're going to take a little break before we get on to our next movie.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Join us at the Drive-In Review for in-depth discussions, hot takes, and behind-the-scenes insights into your favorite films.
Whether you're a cinephile or just love a good movie night, our podcast has something for everyone.
From blockbusters to hidden gems, we dive into it all with passion and humor.
Plus, engage in fun games and movie trivia that will test your film knowledge and keep you entertained.
Visit our website at www.driveinreview.com and click on any of the platform icons to tune in, and subscribe to our social media for the latest updates.
Or you can browse through our movie posters and our ratings on them.
Join our community of movie lovers and give us your thoughts, your answers, or just, berate us on our mispronunciations.
Yeah. So let's enjoy the cinematic adventure together, and thank you for listening.
Okay.
What the fuck was he talking
No
about?
kidding. All right. Well, our final movie for today is called North by Northwest.
Roger Thornhill, Manhattan advertising executive.
My name is Thornhill. Well, obviously, you've mistaken me for somebody else.
I'd like you to tell me how much you know. Simple yes or no. The least I can do is afford you the opportunity of surviving the evening.
A simple no. For the simple reason I simply don't know what you're talking about.
Poor sucker got mistaken for George Kaplan.
How long do you think he'll stay alive?
Well, that's his problem.
Goodbye, Mr. Thornhill, wherever you are.
I can't go to the police till I find out what this is all about. You know this man? I know, I look vaguely familiar. There's something about my face.
It's a nice face. You're wanted for murder on every front page in America. I won't say a word.
How come?
It's a nice face.
Games, must we?
No getting rid of me, is there?
You gentlemen aren't really trying to kill my son, are you?
All right, so North by Northwest is about a New York City advertising executive, Roger, was it
Thornhill.
Thornhill, thank you. He goes on the run after being mistaken for a government agent by a group of foreign spies and falls for a woman whose loyalties he begins to doubt. George Kaplan is who he's mistaken for.
Yes.
North by Northwest was released December 18th, 1959 by MGM, and it was shot on 35mm Technicolor. It stars Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, James Mason, and a young Martin Landau. It was made on a budget of $3.1 million, and it grossed $192K. IMDb rated this an 8.3 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 4.2 out of 5, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 97% with a 94% audience approval rating. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it 8 out of 10. Yeah. This is probably one of my favorite Cary Grant movies.
I agree. Right off the top of my head, I couldn't give you my top 3, but this would definitely be in the top 3.
Right.
So can you name the other 3 Hitchcock films that Cary Grant starred in?
Was it Vertigo?
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
I can't.
It was Notorious, Suspicion, and To Catch a Thief.
Oh, yeah, he was in Suspicion.
Yeah, To Catch a Thief.
To Catch a Thief.
This was shot on location in several parts of the U.S., including New York, Chicago, Keystone, South Dakota, and on the MGM studio lot between August and September of 1958. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock and produced by Charles Schnee. This was written by Ernest Lehman, who also wrote Sabrina with
Harrison Ford?
Bogart, the original.
Right.
West Side Story, he wrote that, as well as The Sound of Music, and a movie called Somebody Up There Likes Me, which is basically the movie that got Paul Newman his start. That part, the part that Paul Newman played, was actually supposed to be given to James Dean, but unfortunately that did not happen.
Right.
The score for this movie was done by Bronislaw Kaper, who also did the score for Gaslight, which, by the way, if you didn't know, the term being gaslighted literally comes from this movie, Gaslight.
All right.
He also did the score for Thin Man Goes Home and the 1954 Ant creature feature, Them.
Oh, nice.
And once more, the cinematography was done by Robert Burks.
All right. So, anything else?
Nope, that's it. What you got, Sea-Dog?
So, filming Vertigo in 1958, Hitchcock described some of the plot of this project to frequent Hitchcock leading man and Vertigo star James Stewart, who naturally assumed that Hitchcock meant to cast him in the Roger Thornhill role, and was eager to play it. Actually, Hitchcock wanted Cary Grant to play the role. By the time Hitchcock realized the misunderstanding, Stewart was so anxious to play Thornhill that rejecting him would have caused a great deal of disappointment.
Yeah.
So Hitchcock delayed production on this movie until Stewart was already safely committed to filming Otto Preminger's Anatomy of a Murder.
That's a great movie as well.
Yes. Before officially offering him the role in this movie, Stewart had no choice but to turn down the offer, allowing Hitchcock to cast Grant, the actor he had wanted all along.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, it's kind of manipulative of Hitchcock, but I get it.
Didn't want to hurt his friend's feelings.
Right. Cary Grant found the screenplay baffling, and midway through filming told Sir Alfred Hitchcock, it's a terrible script. We've already done a third of the picture, and I still can't make head nor tail of it.
Okay.
So he was so confused. Hitchcock knew this confusion would only help the movie. After all, Grant's character had no idea what was going on either. Grant thought the movie would be a flop right up until its premiere, where it was rapturously received.
Mm-hmm.
So, good old Hitchcock and his little pranks and in ways.
Yeah.
Hitchcock filmed Cary Grant's entrance into the United Nations building from across the street with a hidden camera. When he gets to the top of the stairs, a man about to walk down does a double take upon seeing the movie star.
Okay.
So,
I think some of his best shots of his entire career are in this movie.
Yeah.
Particularly the crop dusting scene where he's being chased by the plane. That's classic.
That's classic film.
The other scene that really sticks out in my mind, not this movie, but in Psycho, is when the guy's falling backwards down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
That cinematography, I thought, which was not actually Robert Burks, it was somebody else. I can't remember his name right now, but still, I think those Hitchcock really had a way of a unique way of shooting his movies. And if you watch a Hitchcock movie, you basically know it's a Hitchcock movie just by watching it.
He was a visual genius.
Yeah.
I
mean, especially if you're watching an American Hitchcock film, I wouldn't say, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of his British, the early stuff that he's done, but yeah, he has a unique way of shooting his films.
Yeah. And I really like the overhead shot of on the Rushmore scene.
Yeah.
And everything in this, where because that's a hard shot to get.
Right.
And everything. So especially back then, so that was, and I'm sure they had to get tons of permits and stuff.
Well, I think this was the most expensive movie on our list at $3.1 million. It took them to make.
I believe it. It's great.
It's a fantastic. If you've not seen it, definitely recommend this one.
And the trailer that we played is the 4K trailer because it just got released on Blu-ray.
Okay.
And everything. So that's why it sounded Michael Bay-ish. Because
I was thinking that.
Yeah, it was very, very dramatic and intense.
In a world where Cary Grant
gets chased by a crop duster. Where was I at? Oh,
you were talking about
speaking of
crop dusting.
Yeah. Whoa. Speaking of crop dusting, the scene where the crop duster is chasing and shooting at Thornhill was filmed with a real airplane, while the shot where the plane crashes into the fuel truck was done using large models of both truck and plane. Okay. So the crop duster was real.
And that shot was filmed out in California. I had to look that up because the way the place looked, it kind of looked like Kansas because it was just so flat with corn everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was out in California.
Probably like near Death Valley in that, like the open plain
Perhaps.
area there.
Yeah.
While on location at Mount Rushmore, Eva Marie Saint, or Eva, not Eva, Eva Marie Saint, Eva, discovered that Cary Grant would charge fans 15 cents for an autograph. Yeah, that's pretty pricey back then.
Yeah.
So
I'd pay it.
Right. I got 15 cents.
Hell yeah.
Rather than...
He's walking around with a big ass
just
pocket full of change.
Right. Rather than go to the expense of shooting in a South Dakota woodland, Sir Alfred Hitchcock planted 100 ponderosa pines on an MGM soundstage.
Okay.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that cost, like the difference between the two. Because you would think you could just go to South Dakota.
Right. It's going to be, about the same price.
Right.
Mr. Hitchcock just...
Overboard. Overboard. But, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for North by Northwest.
Cool. What are we going to do next week?
What are we doing next week? We are going to talk about, I believe, Emily Blunt films, which we have 5 picked out. And, there's Tappy Toes. Tappy Toes! Had to make his grand entrance. Yes, we're talking about Emily Blunt films. And should we list the movies or should we wait? All right, we'll wait. So that's what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. Oh, pick it, kick it.
Yeah, we're going to pick it, kick it.
Okay.
All right, I'll start off. We going to do with Psycho? That's a given.
I'm going to pick it.
Yeah, we're going to pick it. Rear Window?
Pick it all day long.
Yes, Rear Window. Owen! No, Strangers on the Train.
I'm going to go ahead and kick that one. Not because I dislike it. Just because I don't want to pick everything on the list today.
Right. You know, I think I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to keep that one.
Okay.
Just for nostalgic purposes, because it was on Throw Mama from the Train.
Okay.
So.
That's fair.
And then, that, like you said, that's one of my favorite movies, too. So. All right. The Birds.
Kick it.
You're going to kick it? You're going to let it fly?
Yeah.
All right.
No birdemic for me.
No bird war. Yeah, I think I'll kick that one, too. Dial In for Murder.
I'm going to go ahead and kick it.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to kick that one.
Okay.
It was a good watch, but not worth keeping. And then North by Northwest, I know what you're going to say on this one.
Definitely going to keep that one.
Yeah, I'm picking this one as well. Great movie. Yes. So, all right. Well, that's it for Pick It or Kick It.
Yep. What was that? Good night, folks.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.